Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers report Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard, and Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, are teaming up to drop a bombshell demand on WSB Chief Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna. Get the heck out of Carly Spencer's Laura Wright life, or else. These two heavy hitters are circling the wagons around their favorite blonde, and Jack's smooth-talking federal agent charm isn't cutting it anymore. This showdown could either cement Sonny and Jason's reign or leave Carly caught in a tug-of-war she didn't sign up for. Talk about a blast from the past. Sonny and Jason are back in sync, and they're not messing around. Jack has been sniffing around Carly, and these two aren't having it. Sonny has that possessive fire in his eyes, and Jason is rocking his stone-cold enforcer vibe. Together, they're a force that makes even Valentin Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, sweet. Will they lay it out plain and simple? Jack needs to step off, or they'll make him wish he had never set foot in Port Charles. But here's the kicker. Will their united front hold, or is this just a temporary truce before the old cracks start showing? If Carly pushes back against their well-intentioned plan, Jack has been playing the suave card hard, with his WSB badge and that twinkle in his eye that has Carly half smitten. But Sonny and Jason aren't buying what he's selling, especially not after whispers from Valentin that he might be more than just a station chief. Could he be the big boss pulling strings from the top? The verdict is still out on that one, but his cozying up to Carly has red flags waving all over town. If he doesn't back off, he might find himself on the wrong end of Sonny's temper or Jason's fists. Will Jack fold under the pressure, or dig in deeper and risk it all for a shot with Carly? And then there's Carly, stuck smack in the middle of this testosterone tornado. She's got Sonny growling like a guard dog and Jason ready to throw down, all while Jack is whispering sweet nothings about protection and power. This girl has a knack for landing in the eye of the storm, but this time, she might not wiggle out so easily. Does she secretly like Jack's attention? Or is she going to end up ready to send him packing herself? If Sonny and Jason push too hard, they could drive her right into Jack's arms, or out of their lives altogether. The hospital corridors were quieter than usual that humid summer night, the air thick with secrets and simmering tensions. In a world where loyalties shift as quickly as the tide, the stage was set for a showdown that would shatter alliances and upend the fragile peace held together by desperate hope and shared history. Sonny, ever the passionate lion of Port Charles, had always followed his heart, sometimes to his own detriment. But tonight, his heart burned with an unyielding fury that few could fathom. Across town, Jason had been wrestling with his own demons, his mind clouded by a desire for redemption and a relentless need to prove himself. Both men, bound by blood and a tumultuous past, found themselves on an unlikely collision course with Jack, a man whose ambition and secret machinations threatened not only their world, but the very soul of the hospital itself. It began with a whisper, an offhand comment in the dimly lit back room of a local diner, where conversations often spilled into conspiracies. Sonny's eyes had darkened as he listened, the name of Jack echoing like a ghost from his past. It wasn't long before the revelation hit him like a tidal wave. Jack had been orchestrating moves behind the scenes, playing both sides against the middle, and using his connections to sow discord where unity once reigned. And Jason, having discovered a thread of evidence linking Jack to more than just petty underhanded schemes, couldn't let it slide either. When the two men met in a secluded corner of the hospital's parking garage, the tension was palpable. Jack thinks he can control everything, Sonny, Jason whispered, his voice low and resolute, eyes glinting with determination. We can't let him. Not after everything we've been through. Sonny's clenched jaw and steady gaze were all the answer needed. In that moment, an unspoken pact formed, a promise to stop at nothing to put an end to Jack's reign of manipulation. However, fate had its own plans. Carly, the heart and soul of the family that had been torn apart by betrayal and heartbreak, found herself in the middle of this storm. Known for her unwavering loyalty and fierce determination, Carly had always managed to steer through the turbulent waters of Port Charles with grace. But now, as the storm clouds of war gathered, she was caught in a dangerous crossfire that neither Sonny nor Jason had anticipated. Carly's days had been consumed by her own battles, trying to hold together the remnants of a fractured family, all while navigating the treacherous waters of romance, trust, and loss. She had always been the peacemaker, the one who tried to heal wounds that ran too deep. Yet, when whispers of Sonny and Jason's alliance reached her ears, fear began to seep into her heart. Would this new war, ignited by old grievances and fresh betrayals, pull her into a vortex of violence and ruin everything she held dear? Under the flickering neon lights of the hospital's cafeteria, Carly sat alone at a corner table, her eyes distant and troubled. Memories of happier times flashed before her. A time when the hospital was a sanctuary of hope rather than a battlefield of broken promises. A soft sigh escaped her as she toyed with a coffee stirrer, each rotation symbolizing the relentless cycle of conflict that defined their lives. The thought of losing everything, her family, her friends, and the delicate peace they had all fought so hard to build, was almost too much to bear. Meanwhile, in a secretive meeting room behind the administrative offices, Jack was preparing his next move. Calm and calculated, he surveyed a series of documents and schematics that mapped out his ambitious plan to seize control of the hospital's resources. His eyes flickered with a dangerous excitement as he contemplated the fallout of a war that would ultimately see him standing alone at the top of the pyramid. But he hadn't accounted for the unpredictable nature of those who opposed him. Sonny's fierce loyalty and Jason's relentless pursuit of justice were forces he had underestimated, and that miscalculation might very well prove to be his undoing. As night gave way to the pre-dawn hours, tensions reached a boiling point. Sonny and Jason, now united by a shared mission and a burning desire for retribution, gathered a small group of allies. Old friends and trusted confidants emerged from the shadows, their faces set with determination. They planned to confront Jack head-on, to expose his manipulations and force him out of the very institution he had sought to dominate. The hospital's halls, once a place of healing, were now poised to become an arena where loyalties would be tested, and battles fought not with weapons, but with secrets and resolve. The confrontation was inevitable. In a dramatic showdown that took place in the main atrium of General Hospital, the tension exploded into a flurry of accusations, revelations, and raw emotion. Jack arrived with a smug confidence, his suit immaculate and his demeanor cool, a stark contrast to the fierce intensity that radiated from Sonny and Jason. "You really thought you could take me down?" Jack sneered, his voice echoing off the marble floors. "You're playing a dangerous game." Sonny stepped forward, his eyes blazing with fury. "It's not a game, Jack. It's about everything you've stolen from us. Our trust, our future. It ends tonight." Jason, standing beside him, held up a folder brimming with evidence that could dismantle Jack's carefully constructed empire. The room fell silent, every soul present understanding that this was more than just a personal vendetta. It was a battle for the very soul of their community. But even as the verbal war escalated, Carly's inner turmoil reached its peak. Having learned about the brewing conflict from an unexpected source, a whispered conversation between two hospital interns, she rushed to the scene. Her heart pounded as she arrived in the atrium, her eyes darting between the opposing sides. "Stop!" she cried out, her voice trembling yet resolute. "This isn't the way. We can't let hatred destroy what we've built." For a moment, time seemed to freeze. The intensity of the standoff softened as Carly's plea hung in the air, a desperate reminder of the delicate balance they had all fought to maintain. In that fleeting instant, the war that had been ignited by past betrayals and simmering resentments appeared suddenly senseless. Yet, the damage was already in motion, and the scars of conflict ran deep. Jack's expression twisted into a sneer as he countered, "Carly, always the mediator. But sometimes, to rebuild, you must first tear down what's rotten." His words cut through the silence like a razor, and the room bristled with the renewed tension of imminent conflict. Sonny and Jason exchanged a glance, torn between their thirst for justice and the realization that their actions could lead to collateral damage. Carly's eyes, wide with both hope and despair, were a silent plea for peace amidst the chaos. As the confrontation reached its climax, alliances shifted like the unpredictable tides. Some of Sonny and Jason's allies hesitated, unsure if the cost of vengeance was too high. The very fabric of their world was at risk. Each secret revealed, each betrayal acknowledged, was a thread in the tapestry of their shared history. The showdown wasn't just a battle for control of the hospital. It was a fight for redemption, for the chance to rebuild trust and heal old wounds. In the ensuing chaos, emotions spilled over. Accusations turned to confessions, and years of pent-up anger were released in a torrent of words and gestures. Carly, caught in the middle, realized that her role was more vital than ever. She wasn't just a bystander. She was the key to mending the fractures that threatened to tear their lives apart. With a deep breath and trembling determination, she stepped forward once more, her voice calm yet insistent. "We're all hurting," she said softly, addressing both sides. "But if we let this war destroy us, who will be left to pick up the pieces? There has to be a better way." Her words resonated, cutting through the haze of anger and vengeance. Slowly, the momentum of the confrontation began to shift. Even Jack's stoic mask cracked for a moment as he considered the possibility that his carefully laid plans might crumble if they lost sight of their humanity. It was in that moment of uncertainty that Sonny and Jason recognized the true cost of their quest for retribution. They had almost forgotten the very values that had brought them together in the first place. In the days that followed, as the dust settled and tempers cooled, the aftermath of the confrontation left an indelible mark on all of Port Charles. The power struggle, ignited by old wounds and fanned by new betrayals, had forced everyone to confront the delicate balance between justice and destruction. Sonny and Jason, now tempered by the near tragedy of their personal war, began to seek reconciliation, not just with their adversaries, but with themselves. They realized that the path to healing was paved with forgiveness and the willingness to rebuild what had been torn apart. For Carly, the ordeal served as a stark reminder of the precarious nature of peace. Though she had nearly been consumed by the crossfire, her strength and compassion had ultimately become the catalyst for change. With a renewed sense of purpose, she dedicated herself to bridging the gaps between families, mending the bonds that had been fractured by conflict. In a world where loyalty was tested and secrets ran deep, Carly emerged as the unexpected hero, a beacon of hope in the aftermath of chaos. The war that Sonny and Jason had instigated with Jack was far from over in its ripple effects, but it had also opened the door for a transformation in how Port Charles would face its demons. As alliances shifted and old grudges were laid to rest, the characters learned that sometimes the greatest victories come not from triumph over an enemy, but from the willingness to heal together. In the end, the crossfire that nearly engulfed Carly and her loved ones became the catalyst for a new beginning. One where even the darkest conflicts could give way to the light of understanding, and where every scar told a story of survival, resilience, and the enduring power of family. In the heart of Port Charles, under the watchful eyes of those who had seen it all, a fragile peace was born from the chaos. And while the echoes of that fateful night would forever resonate in the halls of General Hospital, the promise of redemption and the strength of unity remained the true legacy of their war, a legacy that no enemy, no matter how cunning, could ever fully extinguish. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.